What's your final report on Dobbs on that side of the ball there after last night? It was good, right? Made some plays, missed a few throws, certainly, in the second half, I thought, right? But still on the right track and still positive for where he's, the situation he's in.
If you give the guy protection, he can make things happen. And I think part of it, too, he finally faced an opponent that knew how to pen him in a little bit and not let him get out of the pocket and do things there. That touchdown pass to start the game where he got hit high, it had shades of Randall Cunningham from the 80s.
You're right.
You get hit there at the sidelines, kind of the same spot Randall Cunningham was. He got hit
Carl
low,
Banks
though, and bounced off of it.
Yeah, he put his hand down and popped
But same idea.
Yeah.
But, you got a shot. You got a clear shot at him. You should get him on the ground.
Right.
And the guy falls off, and he's like, hey, I'm fine, quick touchdown. That was when you said, I regret my pick.
Yes.
Right after that play, I regret my
I didn't
pick.
like the way the game looked at that point. I just went, wow, things look really hard for the Denver Broncos. And Minnesota, it looks like they're kind of moving the ball here pretty easily. And that was a phenomenal play by Josh Dobbs. It goes to the point that I think a lot of people are surprised to hear, and Rodney Harrison brought it up, right, during the pregame. The fact that Josh Dobbs is a much bigger human being than people realize, right? He's another one it's close to 6'4", if not 6'4". It's around 220 pounds. He shrugged off that arm tackle, kept his balance, made a nice little play, and then the running continues to be a weapon for him, whether that's through – I thought we'd see more quarterback design runs last night, honestly, but does a great job scrambling. And for the most part, he was a good decision maker. Not a high-level thrower of the football, and I think that's the reason he's been on a few different teams here. But because he's played so much over the last few years, he's actually getting a lot better in that department as well.
At one point last night, Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth showed a graphic that had the probability of making the playoffs for both teams win and lose last night. And for the Vikings,
what was it?
It was 94 if they win and 80 if they lose. Wow. So they're still fine.
Yeah, you're feeling good.
For the Broncos, it went from like something in the 20s, 28 or 24 to 11. So the Broncos really needed that one worse than the Vikings, and the Vikings go home to face the Bears next Monday night. Then they've got their bye. They've got the Raiders at the Bengals. That game has a different vibe now than it did. Then it's Lions, Packers, Lions to finish the season. So the Vikings can still keep winning games. And the challenge is to take yesterday's adversity, learn from it, and incorporate it into whatever they're doing going forward and try to keep winning. And also, ultimately, prepare yourself for what would come if you make it to the postseason, which is 49ers, Eagles, Lions, Cowboys, the best of the best teams.
Right.
We've seen that now. With the Seahawks losing to the Rams yesterday and being swept by them, they're they're coming up against their 49ers, Cowboys, 49ers, Eagles gauntlet. They're going to be – they may not even make it, frankly.
Oh, we could wake up in 4 weeks and go Seattle's 6-7.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, definitely. There's no doubt about that.
So it's Cowboys, Eagles, 49ers, Lions, and then it's everybody else. Yep. And the Vikings are I'd say the best of everybody else, but where can they compete in January with those teams? And I think that's, you got to win games to get there, but that's ultimately what they need to be shooting for, preparing themselves to even try to compete with those teams.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to point out, and we talked about this a few weeks ago when they were still a losing record, that there was things about the team that we felt, translated to they have a better chance to win a playoff game this year than I felt like they did last year. They are getting better at running the football. Dobbs, if he can continue to play at this level with O'Connell's, how he sets up game plans, and then Flores in the defense. Hey, run game defense, that usually travels pretty good in the playoffs, and then you add a good play caller to Kevin O'Connell in the mix there. Yeah, I'm certainly not counting Minnesota out of the playoff conversation for sure. And the way they play on both sides of the ball, they put a lot of pressure on you, and they are certainly capable of pulling off an upset in a wild card round.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.